I am gonna hit record now before I forget. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just run the call by myself. First of all, apologies. I just hit my head really hard, so I'm not gonna have to have this icing thing in my on top of my head. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just share my screen with you, and we're gonna continue with the tips for a better sleep, which is part of um, it's part of the iBook that I've sent you. So just to quickly recap on sorry, I'm just trying to, okay, no, wait, let's leave it like that. Just to quickly recap on what we have spoken about sleep up until today. Um, I'm just waiting a little bit because Nicola just signed up into the group. So I'm waiting for her to connect. But from now onwards, anyone who decides to connect will have just to carry on with the conversation. So yes, so as we were saying, this is the last, not the last, because we might discuss sleep again in the future in another month. I'm also thinking to maybe changing the 6:30 for 7, as I believe 6:30 is still busy for some people with work, or maybe getting from work to home. So we will see what works better for everyone else. But as a recap on the, I'm gonna take the eyes off. As a recap of the what we have been talking so far with the sleep tips. We discussed last time about the caffeine consumption, the low temperature in the room. That I said that our body goes down to 16 degrees. That was completely wrong, and I apologize if our body goes to that level. We will maybe die for hypothermia. What I wanted to say is that the room temperature should be around 20 degrees. Or 7 Fahrenheit grades, 70 Fahrenheit grades. We also discuss about getting all the electromagnetic, or basically all the iPhones, iPads, TVs, everything outside of the room, anything that has any electrical power to it. It has been proven that we were not meant to live surrounded by these devices, and the waves that these devices emit, just trying to search for connection and everything else while sleeping, can affect our quality of sleep. So if you definitely cannot leave your phone outside of your room, I will much suggest for you to put it on airplane mode if you have that option on the phone. If you do not have that option on the phone, then I will highly suggest it to just either put it really far away from your place in the bedroom, or just to literally just leave it outside of the room, because when you go to your bedroom, you should only go for the bedroom for two purposes. One is to sleep, the second one is a relationship matters. Now, but it's really a saying that you should only use your bedroom and your bed for sleep and sex. And this leads me to not the next tip, but one tip that is coming ahead, and that is that we should only, there is people, including myself before, when I was sharing the house with another couple, I didn't have the, how do you say, I didn't have the opportunity to have my own desk, or a different room, or a desk that was out in a different room than my own bedroom. So I did everything on my bedroom. So basically my body didn't know when the bedroom was meant to be for my head to get active, or when the bedroom was for me to rest. And this is really, really, really important. We really need to kind of like treat our bedroom kind of as a temple in which you should, first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, and if you want to be productive, first thing that you should do will be to do your bed straight away, so you don't have the temptation to go back to bed and then leave your room. So what I do, I put all my flowers, my infusers, so I leave my room nice and fresh for the whole day. And then I will only go back to my room if I either had to do a power nap in the middle of the day, or if I just have to go at the end of the day to sleep in my bed. I know that there is people that is used to stay in bed up until late when you cannot sleep, maybe watching TV or reading books. I will suggest you, first of all, try not to watch TV if you're struggling with falling asleep. I am guilty to use the TV as a way to kind of unwind myself, because I just don't want to talk anymore. My days are involve a lot of talking, and I also don't want to think, because everything that I do during the day involve me thinking, and I guess all of us do the same. So whenever I'm playing something on the TV, it's literally for half an hour, 45 minutes, while my body starts to wind down, and we will watch something like doesn't require a lot of thinking, like at the moment I'm watching Friends, which I never had the opportunity to watch, and it's something that it makes me laugh. It makes me it doesn't make me stress, so I will not be watching a series or a TV show that is maybe involving a lot of action and a lot of things that might hesitate my nervous system, because I'm trying to actually achieve the opposite, which is to wind down and relax. So clear your mind is another of the tips, and clean your mind is also something that I do I try to do every afternoon, and I try to do in the middle of the day. So as you know, I work longer hours than any office job, because I choose to. No one is forcing me. Is what I like doing. So for that reason, I need to take a short break in the middle of my day to make sure that I am as productive in the afternoon as I am in the morning. And so what I do, I will I have my playlist in YouTube. There is plenty of Zen music if I just want to listen to relaxing music, or there is plenty of guided meditations for any matters or whatever is concerning you. There are days that I'm overthinking way too much, so I will do a guided meditation for overthinking and relaxing anxiety. Also, some of my favorites will be to, if I'm looking to fall asleep and I cannot sleep, then I have an app that is called Calm, that I use a lot when I was really bad with my insomnia. And within this app, there is like bedtime stories, and you can choose different topics. I know that Jana here also uses that app, and you can choose any story, and they are typically so boring that you end up just falling asleep. So that is kind of a way to clean up your mind. Like there are many strategies that I used in the past when I was so conscious about not exposing myself to blue lights. I was not watching TV back then. I used to just do yoga guided yoga as well. So we used to put it on the small iPad and I used to just listen, do a lot of breath work. There is now a lot of research with regards the different types of breath works that you can do depending on what you're looking to get out of that breath work. So there are breath works to kind of wake you up and get you ready for the day, and there are breath works to actually calm you down. And if you want the ones to calm you down, it's called box breathing. And basically, you just want the exhalation part of the breathing to be longer than the inhalation. So the most common one is one that it makes you count to four. So 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, and then 8 seconds on the way down. And it's not like you need to be counting it. It's the same as when you do tempo exercises. It's not like you have to be going in your head really counting the tempo. You kind of do it 1 2 3 times and then you kind of get the piece of it and you try to keep it. And rather than focusing on the counting, you will be focusing on how your belly and your diaphragm expands and how then goes back to the original position as you breathe out. So there is a lot of information about breathing, which I'm still only learning. It has been proven even more now recently that you can do a lot more with breathing than just relaxing or activating your nervous system. You can control your body temperature, you can control many other things that I will obviously dig deeper if that was the case. But that would be a way of cleaning up your mind. Another thing, and I believe I said this last time that we had the tips for the sleep. If it happens that by 9, or mainly by 9, is that by night, sorry, is that our brain, I don't know what is the scientific explanation to this, but by night our brain starts just like kind of rush out all the thoughts and all the things that you kind of didn't have through the day. They all come back in at night. So if that is happening to you quite often, then get a pen and paper and write it down. Don't even think about if what you're writing makes sense. It's called the stream of consciousness, and it's basically you just take a pen or paper and then you just go on non-stop, like I'm doing here talking with you non-stop, but non-stop trying to just get everything that is on your head on a piece of paper, because once that those thoughts are out of your head and they are on a piece of paper, something magical happen, and is that because those thoughts have been materialized into that piece of paper, somehow your subconscious stops bothering you with those thoughts. It doesn't mean that they will go away straight away, but you will feel like if it's something that is concerning you and you then write it down and then you read it afterwards, you might actually find solutions for those things that are concerning you. Or at least when you're writing down, you just feel like a lot lighter than what you were if you just decide to ignore. Because whatever feeling that you suppress, your body will let you know that you're suppressing those feelings in many ways, and all those ways includes your health. So for some people is not being able to fall asleep, some people is maybe waking up very early in the morning or not being able to get into the deep and the like deep and REM sleep. For some others it might be high pressure, for some others might be compulsive eating, and many other normally health conditions will be develop over non-expressing whatever is going on or whatever is frustrating you. So obviously, as everything with regards health is so connected one another, we will see that although we're trying to tackle sleep in this seminar or webinar today, when we will look into other factors of health, we might look into similar symptoms or into similar tips, such as letting it out, kind of like expressing what is in your head, just because, yes, we are just one unit, and it is impossible to divide our self completely. So we are a 360 kind of circle, and that circle is divided in 8 pieces. I believe is health, physical, mental health, physical health, emotions, and I don't know it by heart now, but I will definitely show you that, because I attended to a webinar 2 days ago, and where they clearly explain all the pillars of our mental and physical health. So if I move on to the next slide, if my computer lets me. So we continue with the tips. Why is this not letting me? Okay, 1 second. Apologies for this, guys. If you have any questions so far, feel free to type on the chat or to come off on the microphone and ask me some questions, as my computer just decided to play up. So I am gonna have to stop the screen sharing and try to open again that iBook because it's not working. So there you go. So I'm gonna go back to screen sharing, and we are in here, share screen. Perfect. So this is where we were. So lower temperature. Okay. Anyway, so sleep aids. Consider taking a sleep aiding supplement. So as I explained last time, I'm very precautious when it comes to actually prescribing supplements, and the only supplements that I will ever prescribe to people will be the supplements that, how can I just leave my own face in here? Okay, I'm gonna have to leave all of you. So the only supplements that I'm currently confident to prescribe are the supplements that I was given the green light for in the last mentorship that I did. And so all the supplements that I will require or I will suggest on this iBook are all green light in terms of like they will not have any side effects, unless, and this is something I said last time, unless you are either on a antidepressive medication or any other stronger sleep medication. And why will they not work if you are into an antidepressive or any other sleep medication? Is because the receptors that they will be tackling will be the same ones as the antidepressant or the sleep medication. And when the receptors of the brain get full, then whatever you put on top of that, it will not take it. So you don't want to be using this instead of the medication that your doctor has sent you, because obviously if your doctor has sent you a stronger medication, that medication should have priority over this. These ones in here are just healthier, natural ways of aiming the nervous system to calm down, so when it comes to sleep. And some of those are ginkgo biloba, glycine, valeriana root, magnesium glycinate, I told you last time. So there are 4 types of magnesium, but the one that we want for the nervous system in particular is the glycinate or base glycinate. You all know about it. L-theanine is actually really, really good. L-theanine is it's an amino acid actually, but it helps again to calm down the nervous system. So another one that is not in here, because I believe it's a little bit stronger than these ones that I'm naming here, is 5-HTP. But 5-HTP will be more for if you are not sleeping because mood changes, like if you're feeling really low, or if, for example, the change of weather or the winter gets you really down. 5-HTP is kind of like a mood booster. And so when you feel yourself in a better mood, then you are more relaxed and then you are likely to sleep better. Then ZMA is zinc and another two components, which has a little bit of magnesium, but is called as ascorbic something. I will tell you the details, but I know that none of you two needs that medication at the moment, and or either if you do, you would not be taking. I know one of you is having problems with the sleep, so we will talk on a different, maybe on a private chat about what we can do. But it's also understanding that there are times in your life that maybe sleeping is not gonna be ideal, because we all kind of face battles with the stress, and as we grow older we have more responsibilities, and we might not cope with them properly for periods of time. But that is not the same. I mean, what I'm trying to say, if your sleep is being affected because you are stressed or you are experiencing a period of life in which you are at a lower mood than you normally will be, then it's only normal that your sleep gets affected. And in this case, you should not be too concerned. I mean, obviously, it's annoying not to be able to sleep well, and this is all the aims or aids that you can get in order to make your sleep better quality. But is when you are what we're talking in here is having a better sleep hygiene. So we're not talking about something like having an insomnia or a sleeping disorder, and this obviously will be too weak medication to aid that. And I'm telling you from experience, as you know. What I'm trying to tell you here is the importance of having routine on everything you do in your life, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And nowadays there is a lot of fuss around like morning routine. You need to wake up and do this and that. You need to be a part of the 5 a.m. club and blah 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 blah, and all of these American you can do more if you wake up at 6 a.m. and blah blah blah. I don't buy into that. I think that everyone, of course, if you wake up in the middle of the day, you already wasted half of your day. But I also don't feel that you should push yourself to fit into something just to please what everyone else is doing. Differently, you should understand how your body works. When you are better or more efficient, when you are more creative, when you are more likely to be productive at work, when you are less likely to be productive, and then work your day around that. But definitely having, as you get older, because when we are in our 20s, I never had any problem with the sleep. In fact, a building could like collapse next to my bed, and I will not even realize. Is only when I passed my 30s, passed my 32s, and I became independent that all my problems with the sleep started. And until then, I realized that I actually never had any sleep hygiene at all. I used to use my brain, be on these devices, be working until very late, until maybe I say it's time to go to bed, then I go to sleep, and then I used to wake up really early because then I used to work in Apple, and I used to make sure that, I mean, the only thing that will make me wake up early was knowing that I can get my work done before going to work, because otherwise I wouldn't have the time to do my workout. So you all know how much I love my workouts. So that was the only way that I could get myself to get up from bed early. Um, but since experiencing all the struggles with the sleep, I started taking my sleep hygiene very serious, and I noticed a massive improvement in terms of my own kind of awareness of when can I push and when can I not, my own kind of kindness to myself, allowing myself to rest because I work really hard the whole day. So I my body and my mind need a break so I can keep up with the pace of work that I am wanting to keep. And this is what all these advices are for. So if you're experiencing long periods of insomnia or interrupted sleep, or not being able to hold the sleep for longer than 4 hours, then I will of course advise you to go to your doctors. I know the health system here is a little bit funny, but go to doctors and specialists. It's not normal not to be able to sleep, and you're not healthy if you don't have, if you don't sleep, you are not healthy. That's something that I just listened today in a podcast. Someone really good to refer to when it comes to any sleep matters, or actually the first doctor that I started researching about sleep and why we sleep, and what happens in our body when we sleep, and what are the different sleep cycles and all of that, is called Dr. Dement. I will put the note when I post this call on the group, and he has written several books like The Magic of Sleep, Why We Sleep, and many others. But he was the pioneer, and that he is a little bit old, I'm not gonna lie. So from the moment that he actually started studying the sleep to till now, there has been a lot of more digging into it, because scientists and doctors starting to notice a lot of relationship between the cardiovascular disease, obesity disease, and diabetics with the lack of sleep, or poor sleep quality. And the funny thing is that people sometimes don't realize that you're not having a good sleep quality. And one of the questions that I always do on my questionnaires before taking any new client is, how many hours do you sleep? What time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up? And do you wake up feeling fresh? If you are all my clients, apart from Jana, who was my first client, so I didn't do that, then you all have experience, that you all know that I ask you those questions, and that was already telling me a lot about the life of the person. And maybe that was the first time that ever someone asked you how was your sleep, and that's just to make you think that something that we never thought it was as important as sleeping, it has a lot of impact in our overall health. um, I'm just trying to go to the last tips of this iBook, because I can get very into this topic. It really, really, really excites me, or it really kind of like, I cannot emphasize enough how important is sleep for not just health but also from the recovery standpoint. All of us train, and if we don't recover properly, then our performance, our ability to burn fat and build muscle is going to be affected, as well as our brain performance. We will, if you don't get into those good REM sleep, you will find yourself being more clumsier than normal, forgetting things more often than normal, and that is not a normal behavior. As well as, for example, there is people who take from granted that waking up in the middle of the night to wee is normal. Well, let me tell you, it's not normal, because when you are asleep, if you are deeply into your cycle 3 or 4 of your sleep, which should be like the big part of your night sleep, you should not be able to feel like you have to wake up to go to toilet. Like, I am someone who drinks a lot of water, and mm, I barely wake up to go to sleep. I did used to go, sorry, wake up to go to toilet. I did used to wake up a lot before I was aware of that not being normal, and that's when I started supplementing with more electrolytes, zinc, and a magnesium, and that should stop that from happening. So if you're waking up at night every night to go to bed to go to toilet, I keep saying bed, let me tell you, that's not normal, and there are ways to fixing it. You might just need some more, yes, electrolyte, magnesium, and zinc into your nervous system. Also, tip in here, sleep tip, cortisol. So if you're someone that by nature, or maybe by the nature of your work, you find yourself being very stress from the moment you wake up, um, till the day you go to, till the time you go to bed. um, Stress management throughout the day, not just at night, stress managers throughout the day will help you massively to improve your sleep quality. And what do I mean by managing stress throughout the day? There are few ways of doing so, and there are also natural teas, and something very famous nowadays that is called ashwagandha, which is an Indian root that is used to calm down the nervous system. That is something that you can again supplement with if you know that you are someone that is really really stressed, or if, for example, if you are a student and you're going through periods of exams, you can supplement with ashwagandha. Is 100% natural, and it has the power to calm down your nervous system even stronger than the magnesium. I wouldn't say to stop taking magnesium because you're taking ashwagandha, because magnesium is also helping you to recover the muscles. But I will say that if your problem is that your cortisol is high throughout the day, then definitely cut down on caffeine, cut down on teas with which contain caffeine, cut down on any stimulants like dark chocolate, coffee, teas, um, and red wine, or any alcohol really. And also we need to look into your training time and how long we want to keep you within that cortisol zone. Because if you are someone that is highly stressed, you barely sleep because of the stress, and then if you are pretending to be able or to train like crossfitter or something like that, which are workouts that are very demanding, which means that it will raise your cortisol even higher, then getting you back from up there to down here, which is where you need to be before going to bed, is going to be extremely hard. And we definitely will have to look into deloading your training volume and intensity until your sleep gets better. And I'm glad that Jana is here in this call, because she experienced that. So Jana is someone that has hypothyroidism, which is also very stressed, and she was having problems with the sleep, and I had her training a time. She was training like 1 hour and a half or 2 hours until the sleep started to drop in a bad way. So I told to her, okay, we will need to rethink your training, and I do not want you to train more than 1 hour. You can do all the walking and all the yoga and all the extra like chilling movement and mobility that you want, but in terms of resistance training, which will raise your cortisol, because at the end of the day, resistance training is an stressor for the body. It's a good stressor, but it is an stressor at the end of the day. Then we don't want these people to be on that zone for too long. So the same I do with Smita, which I know that she's very stressed, and sometimes when people is trying to lose weight, okay, I just admitted Luan, but I will this call is gonna cut down, and today unfortunately I won't be able to. I mean, I can do the second call until it's 7:30, but then I won't be able to continue because I need to do a program to deliver tomorrow, so I need to do some work. But Luam, you're welcome. I think the ladies today decided to be quiet. We have 5 minutes left on this first recording. The call is about to drop down, but I can connect again for an extra 20 minutes until it's 7:30, and then we will leave there. I'm also thinking to move these calls to 7 p.m. It's better for me, and I think it's better for the rest of the team, as I think or I find that at 6:30 people is still in between catching trains and not ready for the call. And I really want everyone, or not everyone, but most of you, to get the best out of these calls. And it's nice that you actually connected right now, because I was just talking about cortisol and how someone who has very high levels of stress during the day, and during the day, then we need to start managing the stress from early in the day, using supplements such as ashwagandha or holy basil, which is tulsi tea, and all of these natural Indian roots, which are really good for the nervous system, that will naturally drop your cortisol levels down. As I was explaining, if you don't sleep well overnight, well, if you don't sleep well during the night, your cortisol levels are going to be even higher when you wake up. And obviously, the fact that you didn't sleep is already stressing your body, which means that your body didn't rest overnight. It's a stress, and you're waking up to more stress. So it's just an accumulation of stress over the stress over the stress, and then when you get so much up there, it's really hard. It's really hard to get you down here. Other tips that I can, or the tips that I can advise you will be to get lavender diffusers, but make sure that they are organic oils, or any diffuser that you, or any essential oil that you buy, make sure that it's organic, because the non-organic ones can give you skin reactions. They're not good for you to breathe in, so make sure that they are organic. So also, the good thing about lavender is that it stimulates the melatonin production slightly, but it stimulates it a bit, which will help you to start getting the body ready into the sleeping mode. And on the pillow that they sell they sell like sprays, lavender sprays that you can put on your pillow, because as soon as you place your head in the pillow, those fragrances or essential smells will activate your melatonin receptors, which will mean that you will produce more melatonin as you, sorry, just need to mute someone here, mute. Um, as you sleep through with a pillow and these essential oils. So, and the best advice that I can give you is to finish the day with a positive mindset, which means there is people, or there are lots of books that is called the gratitude book, and basically it's just to finish the day with celebrating three big wins. And these big wins basically is just something that you feel proud that you did on the day, or something that you are grateful that you did on the day, or you're grateful someone did for you. And the reason why it's good to think about those things before going to bed is because we will automatically place our nervous system um, into a better kind of waves. When the reason why is so now well known to practice gratitude is because every time we put the image of that moment that made us happy during the day, or that moment that gave us pride or make us proud, we will then fill in